in here we go, recording in progress. I'll just snip the front off that. What I was going to say was, as we were going through some of the, first of all, thank you for being on the show. I really
Thanks
appreciate it.
for thanks for being here, Ken. I'm really uh, appreciate the opportunity to talk about the New York City SEAL swim, and thank you so much.
I am so looking forward to this now. I learned about it through you and through a couple of your friends, and now I've got August 19th, Saturday, marked on the calendar. I've got all the contingency plans. Now, how many people are in it right now? About 150, give or take. Am I correct, or is it a little more, a little less?
Right now, my confirmed head count is about 140.
Oh, okay.
Those numbers will probably go up. I should have around 200.
So when
A
we when
little,
we were, go ahead.
yeah, a little over 200.
So that's
It's a
going to be
great,
amazing.
yeah, it's a great event. Brings a lot of SEALs together, a lot of veterans together, a lot of police officers, firefighters together. It's a really cool event, and it has a habit of attracting really beautiful people.
Well, it's amazing the caliber of individual that participates in this. And I love the fact that you've dialed in, New York City Police, New York City Fire, and of course, special ops in addition to SEALs, because this is not an easy feat. For people who are just tuning in and are not familiar with the whole SEAL thing. Now, as you know, I'm like a SEAL geek. In fact, I have to share with you, I just read this one.
Yeah,
Yep. And I'm
I'm
halfway
in
through
it.
this one.
I'm in both of them.
You're in both of them, and I know your nickname and I know everything about you. I know how you were on the front of the boat in class 231, and then he ended up going to 235. Now, you went through SEALs. Did you go through the class twice?
I went through Buds twice.
You went
The
through Butts
first time,
twice, yeah. Coggins
uh,
went through three times?
I believe we went through 3 Hell Weeks.
Yeah,
Yes.
what's wrong with you people? Oh my God. I couldn't believe it. No, I was reading that, and we're certainly going to get to the swim, but as a guy who's read a lot about SEALs, both high profile and just there's a lot of people that have written books out there. And I'm reading this and I'm like, holy moly. And he calls you, well, I won't use his nickname because I don't have clearance, but he says you're like the toughest dude. You and him on the front of that boat in class 231. He said, man, if it wasn't for Bill Brown, but he had a nickname for you.
Well, back then they called me Freak Brown.
That's right. I didn't want to say it without permission.
Yeah, but you kept bringing it up. I tell you the truth, though, they didn't say it to my face because they would. I was not a gentleman back in the day.
Well,
But I was kind of known for that. But the I tell you what, David Goggins is a beautiful man, and having that guy in Hell Week with you on your boat crew definitely paid big dividends because there's a saying in the SEAL teams, especially Buds, basic underwater demolition SEAL training, it pays to be a winner. And one of the things that they're looking for there is they're looking for real raw aggressiveness,
mhm.
and 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 in war, there's no second place, and so they're trying to bring out a competitive spirit in guys, and it pays to be a winner. And one of the things in Hell Week is when you win, you're competing in a bunch of series of different types of competitions and races with other boat crews. You get a break, and the other guys don't. And having a guy like David Goggins rocking and rolling with you definitely gonna push you a little bit, and the end result is a lot of breaks for you and not so many for the other guys.
Yeah. But what I have found so captivating about not only what you're doing with this fundraiser, the different stops, again, I didn't know a lot about this. I started researching it and I said, so okay, after the first leg, you do 100 push-ups, then you do another 100 push-ups, then you do another 100 push-ups, right? Then 22 pull-ups, and you wrap up with another 22 pull-ups. I mean, It really is. That's why I have to tell my audience this. I actually, with a straight face, asked this seasoned SEAL, "Hey, you think I could do this?" You were so graceful. You were so gracious about it. I know what you were thinking. Hell no, idiot. But you didn't say that. You could have said that to me, but you said, "Well, I'll have to evaluate you."
Well, we believe in giving everybody a fair shot, and you can never, one of the things you learn about buds and in life, I think everybody sooner or later is you can't judge a book by its cover, and that's true in a lot of things, not just being a SEAL. So you never know. Um, the it's not just what the push-ups and pull-ups that it's what they symbolize.
Exactly.
There's honor and meaning to each of them. And
Hmm.
one of the things that we do in the SEAL teams is we do intense type of workouts as a way to honor our fallen. A lot of people know about the Murph challenge. It just took
Yes.
place over Memorial Day weekend to celebrate Michael Murphy, who was a SEAL Medal of Honor recipient.
Has it been 10 years already? Roughly. Am
It's
I,
the 10-year anniversary.
isn't it?
He was
Yeah.
killed in June 28th, 2005. But it's the 10-year anniversary of the Murph Challenge. But it's a symbolize. That's one of the ways we give honor. It's kind of one of the things that how we pay our respects and give a little love to those that we respect and love. And I think it's basically what this whole endeavor is with this New York City SEAL swims. That's really what it's about. We swim to the Statue of Liberty. We do 100 push-ups, 22 pull-ups to honor our nation's freedoms and civil liberties. We swim to Ellis Island to honor all those who came to our country for a better life, celebrate our nation's diversity. And then we do 100 push-ups, 22 pull-ups there. And then we swim all the way to South Cove Marina and we grab a bunch of American flags.
Hmm.
We run into World Trade Center. The FDNY flag pipers are playing. And we go to the first responder statue there and we do 100 in the World Trade Center ground zero. Do 100 push-ups, 22 pull-ups to honor all those who lost their lives on 9/11 and all those who put it on the lives for our country. And we respect everybody who puts it on the line for our country. That includes police officers, firefighters, and first responders. And so I think the event's pretty cool because it sends a positive patriotic message of unity for our
Yes.
country. And I think that's one of the big things that we need more of. And so I'm pretty excited. I also call it adventure therapy, because I was a team guy on 9/11. I did 3 deployments. My last one was in Iraq. And when we get together and we do these fun kind of patriotic athletic events, like I did the Murph at the Michael Murphy Museum on Monday,
Hmm.
and a couple of SEALs were there, and even though I'm older now and not the stud that I used to be,
Hmm.
uh, it's still getting after it, and it's still a good time being with the guys and doing something fun for a good cause. And I think it's real important to teach our kids about patriotism.
Yes.
And I definitely, I try to incorporate my son and my daughter to these events as much as possible to kind of teach them that. And it's kind of cool because I see other SEALs and bringing their kids, and I can kind of see them indirectly kind of doing the same thing. And it's really cool for us to do these type of events because a lot of us, when we were SEALs, we were never home. We were always training or deployed. And so to kind of incorporate our kids into some of that and let them to be a part of it and kind of get the feel on a fun way of it, I
Hmm.
think is it's pretty fun.
Well,
Yeah.
you look at pre 1990, the typical American civilian like myself really didn't know much about the SEALs. And then, 9/11 kind of put the spec op community on the radar. Something that's fascinated me about what you do, Bill, and your brothers do is you have it's the honor, the discipline, the pageantry, the patriotism, all on top of being able to crush someone with your hand or, you know, take them out with a pencil. It's just mind-boggling to me to have all those elements in one package. And the fact that you're bringing in, I love that you're bringing in firefighters and cops, because they really are, when you think about it, cops in particular, they're like the soldiers right now in some cities. And I love that the fact that you've put together such it's a beautiful landscape too. I mean, Liberty Island and the Empty Sky Memorial at Liberty Park, and then that stunning, I've lost track of the times I've taken my kids to the 9/11 memorial, and that was like,
Reflection ponds.
pardon?
The reflection ponds.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, it's just beautiful. And I remember, uh, you know, just the whole thing. It's amazing. Sometimes it seems like a few days ago. Sometimes it seems like so long ago. I just like this much American military uh, and patriotism. There's just so much that I think people that are not in it, unless you study it. Again, I'm only a civilian, but I think people miss the love and the passion that you have for each other and the mission and the country. I mean, uh, that's all you listen to SEALs talk, or you listen to some of these men and women that have been in combat overseas, and their days just, it doesn't even phase them. Their day sucks out loud. And that's why I was so proud to show you that I wanted to finish at least one of Goggins' books, because I heard you in some video
Yeah.
mentioning him. So I wanted to do a deep dive on that. But there are so many people of like mind in the SEALs. And here's the other part. How many people have to, you call them up, you ask them, do they have to get in shape again, or could they jump right in? Be honest now, be honest, because we
Well,
know
I
we
think.
know I'm a tub of goo out of shape. But what about these SEALs? Do they have to, diet a little bit?
Well, I think the most of us. One of the things about kind of being a SEAL, and while you're in there, it's a young man's game. But while you're in the teams, you're definitely, it's a lifestyle where you're staying pretty fit. It's kind of
Hmm.
part of your job, and I think it plays. It's kind of like ingrained, in your psyche to kind of, you don't want to stay too far out of shape. And I
Right.
think one of the reasons is, to be honest with you, it's a great way to kind of purge out stress. And it's, in the back of my mind, I always want to be kind of at the ready.
Yeah,
And I
it's
think,
your job.
yeah, and I think for a lot of us, that's kind of, it's I love seeing other team guys and following them. SEALs refer to each other as team guys, and
Hmm.
I think we age pretty well, because the fact that we live a pretty, the majority of us live a pretty in style, like a healthy, fit
Yeah,
lifestyle. But
active.
yeah, but to be honest, an event like this, guys are going to be running around with their shirts off, and so you don't want to be the one guy who goes, "Hey, that's the SEAL with the dad bods."
Oh, so there's not going to be any dad bods here, probably.
Well, I might be the only one, but I'm trying not to.
Well, you brought something up at the very beginning.
Yeah.
That's another a misconception again on from the civilian standpoint, that SEALs are somehow all 6'8", 270 solid pieces of stone, and in reality, they come in all shapes and sizes. And I think that's what, not only is that an inspiration for men and women across the country that you can do that in the military, but I think that's the secret sauce of special forces, that you can't tell if someone is a special force guy or not. I mean, most SEALs can take gym rats out on any given day. And,
Well,
you know,
I well, there's a couple of things to that. One is, I think absolutely you can never tell a book by its cover, and that's one of the big things you learn in Budge, and especially going through Hell Week. There's definitely guys that I went through with that I thought for sure were going to be studs, and they were studs. And then Hell Week came, and they decided it wasn't for them. And then there were some guys kind of like me who were getting the hammer 24/7. But I think everybody who knew I was never going to quit. But there were guys that getting the hammer 24/7, and they were never going to quit. And so you just don't know. I think somebody's somebody's hunger, somebody's drive, you can't really see it. And somebody's heart, you can't really see it in the. But I think there is a misconception about team guys in a lot of different ways. I think we always work better together.
Mm-hmm.
I think like we always work well. We we work a lot better together than individually, and I think that's what SEAL teams is really about. It's yeah, doing the stuff that we do, uh, and taking it reduces calculated risk substantially when everybody's on the same page. So I think that's really, and to say that a bunch of the average team guy can beat the average gym rat, I don't know. Maybe individually, it's probably a toss up, but I think when we're together,
Mm-hmm.
that's where there's a huge distinct
And keep
because
in mind, that was a civilian saying that. If you're listening, that was not Bill saying that. Bill, no, nobody wants to fight with gym rats. But we've all read the story of the guy who's the number one guy in the football team, or the big badass at school, or Jimmy getting a fight every Friday, and then he gets to Hell Week, and it from what I've read, it's mind over matter. It's so I mean that's the thing that to me, of all the layers that impress me about Spec Ops and SEALs in particular, is you've got to have your act together in every area, but on top of it, your brain has got to be just razor sharp, because you're
but
in charge of other people. You have to be able to fill in for other people. And like what you just said, you immediately went to the team concept. What are some of the other misconceptions that you've seen from either other armed forces or civilians that you could correct?
I think you hit a good point. I think one of the things that um, they came after me for is I gave the a misconception off that I wasn't quick on my feet,
Hmm.
and that they kind of thought I was a straight rock, and and mm, it is kind of a thinking man's game. They definitely want somebody who's you can't be a rock and be a SEAL, straight up. And
Now, when you
so I
say
think
can't be a rock, you mean you have to be able to move around and and
no,
and be
no,
flexible.
I mean you can't be a guy who's a dumbass and be
Oh,
a SEAL.
is that what you meant by a rock? Okay, I didn't know what you meant.
It's just not going to work.
So that's
And
the actual military term, dumb ass.
I th- I think in some other outfits, like you keep your mouth shut, you follow orders, you
Yep.
could kind of get by. But in the SEAL teams, there's just you work the diversity in the task that you're assigned to do and the responsibility that you have, and the dynamic kind of quick decision making that you have to do. Just being a dumbass ain't going to work. And they're pretty. The thing about it is, some dumbasses have a lot of strong willpower.
So,
And so, I tell you the truth. I think the number one of the number one kind of attributes to be successful to get through SEAL training is having strong willpower. There's no doubt about it. And I think that's one of the things that happened with me. There was like the first time I went through, there was just huge, like colossal confrontation going on because uh, I was going to die before I quit. And they thought I was a straight dumbass, and they did everything possible to try to make me quit. And so I never quit. And then he dropped me 2 weeks from graduation. But the problem I had there was I grew up really from an Abbott school district. It's just a very poor performing school district uh, in New Jersey. It's at Burlington City, and I had very misconceived values on education and growing up, and it grew up very blue collar and rough and tumble, and they were very brutal, harsh lessons that I learned. But those guys actually saved my life
Hmm.
because if it wasn't for that moment in time and that experience of seriously getting my ass handed to me, I I wouldn't have woke up in time, and I needed a hard wake up call, and I sure as hell got it.
It's interesting how your story is so different, but there are some similarities to some of the other SEALs that I've researched and grown to admire over the years. I mean, even David Goggins, if it, he didn't know how to swim
Well,
when he went out to be a SEAL. I mean, you guys live in the water, and I remember, I just remember reading that and thinking, but when you know the whole story, when you know the whole SEAL tapestry of test after test after test, ball bust after ball bust after ball bust, and in your case, they drop you out 2 weeks before. So then you had to decide, do you want to take your blanket and go home or come back, kick ass, and do it?
I knew well, there's a couple things. One, uh, I didn't know how to swim either. I failed the screening test the first three times because I the swimming part.
I
I
hope this
grew up.
doesn't get out that you don't have to swim to be a SEAL. I'm
No,
just
no,
kidding.
you have trust me.
I
You
know you
have to
do.
swim. Now I knew how. Don't get me wrong. I knew how to swim. I didn't know how to, I didn't know how to swim to the part where, it was a side stroke or a breaststroke that you needed to pass with. And I was not a proficient swimmer. I knew how to swim,
Right.
but, I didn't know. So I failed the screening test the first three times, but I didn't stop. I just kept going. And that's the type of disposition that it takes to be a SEAL. Because a commander is going to do everything they can to win. A commander is going to do. There's no rules in war. A commander, get as long as you're. It doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. It's in the SEAL creed. You're going to get up and you're going to
Hmm.
keep fighting, right, until you're successful. That's really what a commander is. It's about winning no matter what and no matter what. No rules. I'm just going to keep coming at you, and that's the willpower. That's the type of willpower that's hard to defeat. Uh, and that aggressive mentality is something that they breed and build in that type of training. And one of the things, you know, guys like David Goggins and other guys, you're right. I look at the backgrounds and a lot of the guys I serve with, and a lot of guys out there, and a lot of us come from these type of like turbulent type of backgrounds, and you kind of probably see it in a lot of professional athletes. And
Hmm.
that type of handicap can actually be the silver lining for a lot of us because it produces a pressure and a drive in some other areas that create this hunger,
Hmm.
and I think that aggressiveness and that hunger, when it's harnessed in a positive way, can lead to some really kind of you know amazing achievements. And if you
Oh
look at
yeah.
a lot of famous musicians, and
Hmm.
I see similar type of backgrounds, so it's kind of interesting to see how things play out. A lot of times it's like the dirty dozen. And
Yeah.
then the other thing about not being the most proficient swimmer or in the get go. To tell you the truth, I didn't know anything about the SEAL teams before I went in. I just wanted. I knew about the Rangers. I knew about
Hmm.
Airborne. I knew about the Green Berets.
Yep.
It wasn't the outfit it is now. But the common denominator about going after something,
Hmm.
it's just like right before you're going to engage in something that's high risk. You're nervous, right? Because you know that things are about to happen, and it could either be bad or good, but you're going to engage. And I think that's kind of about engaging the mentality of the guys who go into the SEAL teams or a lot of other type of aggressive type of endeavors, or go in, dive all in, because let me tell you, when you're in the middle of the ocean, you got to learn how to swim.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
don't.
just love these stories, and they're so American in
Yeah.
nature and in character. People are broken by definition. Some of these people, some of you know, David's stories, they bring you to tears. And I'm sure you have some. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have breakage and in their evolution to where they're going as a man or as whatever. And some people take it like you guys do, and you turn it into something that it is so fulfilling. But it's not just fulfilling for you, it's fulfilling to the country. See, I think that's to me why so many of us respect and admire this community and are in awe of it, because it's beyond being an athlete. It's not only are you going to be an athlete, but you could get shot out of the sky. That's pretty damn impressive. So, I mean, when you look at this level, that's why this event, and I want to ask you about people that want to view this for the first time, because I plan on being there for my first time there. I know it's a five what is it, 5 a.m.
Oh,
starts at 5 and then it goes till like 12:30.
yeah, I'll tell you the times real quick.
Yeah, I mean,
The
I saw the itinerary, but I mean, if I want to watch it as a civilian, if I want to show up with my bag lunch and my dry pair of socks and my pillow, what time where should I go to see all the action? I mean, it's
well,
got to be incredible to watch.
thanks. Thank you so much. So there's a couple things. Fox News is they cover it every year. So
Awesome.
Fox and Friends in the Morning will be covering it.
Mm.
I believe Pete Hegseth and Will Kane are both swimming this year.
Oh wow. Go
So
Pete.
that yeah, he's. I tell you what,
Now
he's
you
really
said he was
brought
a
this.
ranger? He was a ranger or Green
He
Beret?
was in the Army National Guard,
Okay.
and he's a Iraq and Afghanistan veteran. And I
Okay.
can tell he's definitely a veterans advocate, and he's definitely put this event in the stratosphere.
Very much so.
And a huge champion of it. The this event's totally the tides and the currents in the Hudson River are no joke,
Okay.
absolutely no joke. And the tides and the currents determine when we can do the swim. So this year, the way it's right now, we're looking at the tides and currents.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be at the at Empty Sky Memorial at the Liberty State Park at 0600.
Got
Now
it. Okay.
it's going to be really early, and then we'll we'll run down to the south side of Liberty State Park to Flag Plaza at 0700.
Mm-hmm.
We'll enter the water around 0730.
And that's
We'll
when
swim
people
it.
get in their fins and their swimming stuff, basically.
That's it. I'll do a swimmer's inspection, make sure everybody's got their gear, got their ankle tracking bracelets, got their swimmer buoys, got their fins, and their goggles. Pop in the water. We'll we'll get to the Statue of Liberty. That'll be about 7:30. We'll get to the Statue of Liberty around 8. I'll get a full head count. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you guys, there'll be a ferry for the families of the swimmers. So the place to watch it, the opening ceremony in the morning, that's really bright and early for a lot of people. Empty Sky Memorial around 0600. That's at Liberty State Park. At Flag Plaza that's at Liberty State Park too. That's on the south side, 0700 to 0730. Then you can watch us in Manhattan, Lower Manhattan,
Okay.
around 0930 at South Cove Marina in Lower Manhattan, New York
That's right.
City.
When you're coming in and wrapping up, right? I mean,
That's
wrapping
where
up the swim
we're
leg.
coming
The
in.
swim leg.
Yeah, we'll From there, we'll run with flags to the soldier statue at the World Trade Center.
Mm-hmm.
And you can catch us there from like 11 to 11:30, and then we'll walk around. We'll have a ceremony there at the and that's in the World Trade Center, and that's pretty much a wrap.
Well, one more thing, and I just realized we're running over time, and you have an appointment, and I apologize. I was looking at the wrong clock here, so I want to thank you for your time. But it was such a pleasure to just get some inside SEAL stuff from the real deal. And is there going to be skydiving in? Is it going to be parachuting in tandem with Gold families or not? I don't know.
Ken, that's a great question, and thank you so much for promoting the swim and your time. I'm very grateful. Yes,
There is. Okay.
we will absolutely have some Gold Stars jumping in to Liberty State Park. That'll be on
Okay.
Friday. The swim's on the 19th, which is a Saturday of August.
Okay.
The jump will be on the Friday, which is the 18th of August. Now, right now, kind of working out how many Gold Stars.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I just saw it and I thought I didn't know if it was part of the Saturday event, but it's part of the Gold Star family SEAL Special Op Memorial lineup, which is going to be another cool reason to be in there. So,
oh yeah, there'll be a lot. There'll be a lot of Gold Stars there. But want to give them love and respect, and we always try to do that at these events and give out the red carpet for them.
very
I
much
believe
so.
Fox News will be covering the Gold Star jump too on Friday. That'll be in the morning as well on Fox and Friends. And that'll be August 18th. Now, how many Gold Stars? It'll range right now from 2 to 12. Definitely 2, but I'm trying to get funding for 10 more. And they'll be jumping in
Excellent.
with the Patriot Parachute Team.
Well, hats off to all these people like Fox and stuff, giving you guys great publicity and exposure. Hats off to them. Thank you again, Bill Brown, Navy SEAL, retired Navy SEAL, and I look forward to seeing you there. And let's stay in touch between then, because I may need some tips on where to stand and get a good camera shot when I'm not in the water.
Hey, Ken, one of the things you said, I'm going to close up. One of the things you were talking about is doing things out of love. And I watched who did I watch? I watched General Michael Flynn give a speech on Memorial Day weekend
Yeah,
because he
that
was
was a
in
tearjerker.
he was giving it in Jersey, and he talked about why we stand up for our country, and it's out of love. And to tell you the truth, man, that's the truth. We do it out of love. We do it out of love for our country. We do it out of love for our brothers. We do it out of love for our families. And that's what this event's about. And I'm very grateful for your time. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll be in touch soon. Take
You
care.
too. Cheers.